Yo! I know you're so used to seeing the flashing lights, take shots with much bravado. Don't you know you don't have to lay down your only life? I need you here tomorrow. Is martyrdom the only philosophy? I can set you free from all that seems to bind. Years ago, you threw the key into the darkest nights, then hit the light to follow. Who's it really trying to conquer? Why fight the war? Why fight the war? Who's it you really trying to conquer? Why fight the war?
Welcome, y'all, and thank you for sitting with us again. This is the Anukai Tree, and I am your producer, Mick Sykes, and I'm here with your host,
Jip Jack on the attack. Brow.
And tonight we have a very special episode of the Anukai Tree. Every episode is special, but this is super special because we have some really, really amazing guests with us tonight. And tonight's topic is Voices of the Diaspora. And we're just going to talk about what Blackness means globally. We're going to talk about colorism. We're going to talk about police violence and really get to that and unpack that. So remember that we are poor, working class, colonized people, and we do this for free 99. So make sure that you support this podcast by donating a little something so we can help elevate this podcast and support our people. Make sure you check us out on anchor.fm/support. And you can become a subscriber and give a little bit of that quaint. You can donate as much as you want. You can donate $1, you can donate $5, you can donate $10 a month, and that's gonna just keep us help us keep this thing going. So let's introduce our guest for tonight. We have the host of the Ladies Who Bronche podcast. Bronche. And we have our wonderful friend Zandi here. You guys introduce yourselves and let the people know who you are, what you do.
Yep, let us know who you are, what you do, where you're from.
Yes, so I'm Julissa Contreras. I am from the Bronx, and as you can see by my colonizer flag behind me, I'm a colonized of DR, and I am the creator of the Ladies Who Bronche podcast. I am a general creative, I'm a writer, I'm an overall storyteller, and I try to use different mediums to elevate my community's stories in ways that are nuanced and really take us away from the language that is used in media and allows us to have beautiful private moments with our community so that we can connect and elevate our stories. So.
Thank you.
Yes.
What's up, everybody? My name is Skittles Ortiz. I am a non-binary actor, singer, content creator from the Bronx, New York. Many people know me from the viral hit video that Julissa and I did called Shit Spanish Girls Say. What can I say? I've been creating for the last 10 years, and I'm just out here creating and hustling and trying to, live the dream.
Yeah.
And also get to do whatever badass shit that Julissa gets me into.
Yes. No, Julissa's the mastermind. She will come up with something. Right, is Auntie late?
I'm Zandi D. I live in Newark. I'm somebody with a whole bunch of things to say. So I'm ready for the world to hear it. Let's get it. Where you from? South Africa, gang.
Gang.
But I was born and raised here in the States. My siblings and I are half and half. My younger sister, my older brother was South Africa, and then my sister and I were here. But we got a little bit of both worlds, and They both looking a little crazy right now, but you know.
Yeah, we're gonna get into all of
That's
that.
all right. Make sure, like, if you're listening to us for the first time or watching us for the first time, make sure you check us out on our podcast at anchor.fm/Anukai. We're available wherever podcasts are streaming. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that great stuff. Make sure you check us out there. And if you're listening to us out there in podcast land, make sure you check us live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Facebook.com/Anukai Tree. And we're also streaming on YouTube. We have a little cute IG page, so make sure you follow us on IG at Anukai Tree. And make sure you follow the ladies Who Bronche on all their social media on IG, YouTube, and Facebook. They're out there. Really great content,
Amazing.
like awesome, powerful discussions. Hey, how you doing out there? So make sure you check it out. And before we get into like tonight's topics, we want to have a little like moment of silence, a little moment of like prayer, like I'm not bringing up prayer, but like a little moment of reflection about like a great artist that we lost this past weekend, DMX. Like DMX was like such just like a powerful and like prolific rapper, and like even though he did what some people would like consider like gangster rap, like his message and like the pain he shared and the sensitivity that was in his music is something that carried me through like a lot in my life. So
same. My mother really loved DMX. She was the way I found out that he died. She texted me like, you know, my baby daddy did, you know. And he was just really, he's like a really nice guy. Like he was a really nice guy. And it's hard because, you know, you don't see him that way. You see him as, you know, rough riders role, etc. You know, you hear his music and it's a lot of hardship. But he used to just literally go out there and preach to the girls. He used to literally go out there and make sure that people had levels of self-confidence, that people knew, you know, at least a level of right and wrong as it pertained to community. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't necessarily do right by himself. He didn't necessarily do all the way right by his family, but he did the best that he could for the community at large. And, you know, we just want to uplift him. So we're going to take this moment to uplift our brother.
thank y'all so much for doing that with us. All right, let's get into tonight's show.
Round.
So our first segment, as always, is the tea. You know the tea is hot, sis. So come on and sip it with us.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so the reason why we're here, we're going to talk about Blackness around the globe. Like, as a diaspora of people, what does Blackness mean? Where you come from? Because, like, we know that Blackness is not a monolith. Like, it is not, like, exclusive to people that are born on the continent, nor is it, like, exclusive to, like, African Americans. And I know, like, African Americans have, like, a lot of, like, visibility in, like, in this story of what it means to be African or be of African descent. And yeah, so like we have a couple questions for like the group. So yeah, let's get into those questions.
All right. So the first question is, what is your Black experience like in your home country? Home country would be not necessarily where you were born and raised, more so if you know you're a colonized nation, as in like Zandi D knows that she's from South Africa. We got DR happening in the building, right? I know my people are from Ghana. Pat is from Trinidad and Tobago. You know what I'm saying? So like we have places where our people from. Mm-hmm. That's what we want. Fuck America.
But even here in this, like in like the snakes, like it's important to like,
yeah, like we can talk about it. But like I feel like that visibility. Like, okay, like I'll start with that, right? One of the experiences is that the visibility is this like double-edged sword, right? Whereas like people are very aware of the shits that go on in America as it pertains to Black people. We know that police violence is wild. We know that white supremacy is rampant as fuck. And even though it's gotten more covert in our day and age, it's still rather overt in comparison to other places where there are influxes of Europeans. So it's like dealing with that, everybody sees, but then same time that allows everybody to commodify off our shit without like letting us commodify off of our shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like we don't get to even let a dance survive. Dances, I don't know if y'all noticed, dances last 3 weeks now.
Mm-hmm. It gets on TikTok, the white people learn it, and then we gotta come up with
it. Then we gotta go.
The shake had 5 years.
It's a decade for white folks to learn how to electric slide.
Come on, Harlem.
But that's the problem. Like back in the day, when it was real and we had to hide our shit, we was hiding our shit. But now we out here putting it on the Instagram for free. Niggas was, you know what I'm saying? Niggas, everyone didn't know about the Underground Railroad. Why? Because niggas was doing it underground. But now y'all niggas want to dance and shimmy for the streets. And now it's like, we can't keep it.
And I would even say that, like, it's like we was shimmying in the streets, but you had to earn your right to experience what those experiences were. And now there's so much access to that experience that people feel entitled to those experiences. So you see a TikTok dance and you feel entitled to do what you want with it and get yourself on Jimmy Fallon, because that's just what happens when really those things are born from very intimate cultural moments.
Period. I love that. Very intimate cultural moments. Right, like, okay, if y'all remember Rise, right? I don't know why it's coming out of me in this dance perspective. I'm an artist. I know it's going to be artistic in some regard.
Okay.
But if y'all remember the movie Rise, right? When niggas started figuring out, like, oh, niggas in LA is crumping. The West Coast is crumping right now. And it's got all this energy, and there's this dance circle thing happening. There's this, like, powwow thing happening. There's this drumming thing happening, and even though like we're playing hip hop music, you're looking at these people, sometimes children, completely taken over by this feeling that they're releasing. You know what I'm saying? Some people might say it's a spirit, whatever it is that you consider it. It's a highly African thing, and then you realize that like, yo, through everything, the one thing I always have to say for our diasporic experience, y'all try to literally kill, beat, rape everything out of us. Yet, the ancestors are so good that we get to still have everything that they had. We get to still come together and have spiritual force. Y'all church wasn't shit until niggas got in the church. Okay. So, I mean, when we talk about gathering in the way that brings spirit up and brings spirit or God or whatever into the room, niggas are still doing that.
They got with sleep as fuck. I don't know.
Okay. What's doing shit but letting them kill everybody?
So you two like identify as like Afro Dominican? Would that be correct?
Yeah.
So, what is that like for y'all growing up?
And Skittles is Boricua, so I just want to, let you Skittles pick up your Boricua face,
my flag is over there.
I don't know why they call this be the shimmy. I hear Boricua and I be like shimmy.
But it's funny because it's like the older, I feel like Dominicans, being a Black Dominican is to have only found out that I could claim the Blackness that I felt inside for so long. When I was in college and I learned I was Black, when I was 19 years old. So for the better half of my life, I didn't know that I could claim something that I felt very much was mine. But for some reason, without being taught appropriately about appropriation itself, it was kind of like there were ways in which I knew I couldn't act like I was Black, is what I would call it. Like I couldn't act like, my Thanksgivings was baked macaroni and cheese, collard greens and stuff. So like some of these like small distinguishers that later in life, when you really learn about the root of where you come from, you see the parallels, and that's why you fuck with it, because it is literally a cousin. It is a relative of what your culture is from, just different colonizers. So, to
right,
be
just different colonizers.
Literally like just different colonizers, which means different tongues, like maybe different like trades and things in the economy that ran a certain way. Like I get that, but it's your Blackness isn't just those things. Your Blackness isn't tied to the thing about the colonizers that make you different. Your Blackness is about the thing that makes you the same. And I feel like for me, I have to fight for people not fucking with me when I'm taking up space with that. Because as a Dominican woman, a lot of people are like, you don't have to say you're Black because you're not Black, but you're Dominican, but your nose is thinner, but you're lighter skin. But you know, if you do blow dry your hair, like you do have a mean blowout, like and then even to live in that space where like, for the better half of my life, I used to have blowouts and I used to really lean into the whitening of my culture, but not even because I wanted to be whiter, but because I thought that's what it was to be Dominican. And in a way, it's kind of like, yeah, in a fucked up way, our dominant culture has become such where leaning into the colonization is a Dominican way. And we uphold and we defend that shit to the death. And our machismo, forget about it. I mean, the fact that we have the highest domestic violence rates in the Caribbean, like they will not, like the abortion laws are complete trash and women are dying in like high rates. Yeah. Like, you know, and I feel like DR gets away with, because it's a place where people go for tourism and people just think of mango and machapa and blah, blah, blah. You know, we get to hide behind all the ways that people find us fun, which was something I really took pride in and still do, right? Like at the end of the day, I give myself a little grace because I was raised in colonization. It's not that I chose it, but in the moments where I'm looking at the choices, I have to hold myself accountable to not choose the colonized mentality. So like I haven't gotten a blowout, but I'll tell you, I've been itching for one for 4 years now. But something about even just that act for me, the act of it, I'm like, the day I do it, there has to be something real justified that means more than what it means to not do it. So yeah. For me, that's my Dominican experience. It's like having to fight for the Blackness, because if I leave it up to my fellow Dominicans, they don't even want to hear the shit anyway. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to hear about it, you know, and the sooner I can get a blowout, the better.
Right, but my thing, yes, girl, get that blowout, because blackness is the ability to do all of it. Because if you can look at pictures of us from now till 2,000 years ago, and we did every style. Blowouts was ours too. They took that shit from us. So blow that shit, swing that shit, because I promise you, there's no day of the week that a white nigga gonna look at you and be like, is she one of us? No, like, so it's gonna be yours. So it's not like you trying to take something that they put together. No, we put that together. The bump and roll, nigga. Do you see them bitches when they bump and roll with the thing at the same time? Stop that. A white bitch could never. So that's yours too.
I'm crying because I swear to God, like I was like one day, because you're like, okay, when you are male, right, and you want to have like some hang time, right, it gets a little weird, right? You can go to the Black people and sometimes they shade you. You go to the Dominicans, they'll slay your man, but they're gonna talk about you. You know what I'm saying? The whole time. You know, right? I mean, I know they talk about the Black women too, but they're like, it's like to be a man in that space, or at least to be male in that space, it's like they're getting you for your Blackness and like your perceived queerness, right? Mm-hmm. So then you go to the white people who couldn't actually talk about you if they tried, because they're white and only speak English and therefore can't, like, you know what I'm saying, like sneak no shit. And then they are struggling to blow your hair out, yo. I've never seen a Dominican girl even take a rat tail to part your shit to blow it out. She take her pinky.
Yes.
It's done.
Yes. Yes.
They be having these nails.
Yes.
Exactly with the acrylics on. Not tangling shit. Okay? So we do. I was gonna say the same thing as Antole said. Like we have to, like, it's that balancing act, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, if you want to get your blowout because you just feel like you need to be that bitch, you know what I'm saying? Like, remember when you had your braids and we was like, yes, remember the different bitch that you just become when the weave is in? Yes. Right? Yes. Like, you deserve powerful that. Bitch.
Okay.
But it's our crown. That's like a very African thing. That's like a part of our power. Especially as like African people who are also like indigenous. Like it's like an even like richer connection like to like the hair. Yeah. And speaking of hair, like Skittles, so like being Boricua and like growing up, did you grow up here in Puerto Rico? Like what was that like you? And like
I was right here in the Bronx. I think like even for me, it's always been kind of like that in between life of like identifying with Black culture and really living in it and like being immersed in it, being in the Bronx, but then also like, you know, not being dark skin, you know? So it's kind of like you're not white enough to be with white people, but then you're also not, I'm not like dark to be like claiming a space in the Black community or whatever. But coming to terms with like identifying as Afro-Latinx, Julissa can attest to, was like kind of like a journey, because I was like, well, you know, I don't want to take space up in the wrong spaces, but if I'm identifying as XYZ, then, you know, that's my reality and stuff like that. So I think that like when I think of like coming up, it's like, you know, I don't know. I feel like it's been that kind of like difficult journey of like, you know, trying to be like, what am I saying? I'm drawing a blank.
The permission. Or
yes,
when we
exactly.
talked about it, it was like, what is the permission that's actually had? And it's less about, oh, I don't want to be Black, and it's more about but actually how do I trace that, and like how far back are we going, and that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
When you were going through, I remember you talk about that a lot.
To the point of me like getting a 23andMe done, like, and trying to really like trace back my like my like lineage and see where I came from and stuff like that.
And that's the greatest stuff that they pulled off.
Yo, yeah, 23andMe. I forgot which comedian said it, but it's the greatest mindfuck. It's like, now let's make you pay for to tell you where we stole you from.
Yeah, right. Skittles, let me just say this right now. Okay. And the permission thing I definitely understand, and I'm gonna give you some more context to that. And we want to take the time for this because I do feel like there's shit that people even in the audience don't necessarily get about like where their life intersects certain things and how they should show up in spaces, right? Mm-hmm. So Skittle, use a nigga.
If no one's ever told you before,
you like use a nigga, like just knowing you know what I'm saying? Like knowing you, the way you sing, your nose, you know what I'm saying? Like use a nigga, right? That's just that, okay? How you show up in a space, right, where you have claimant to that thing, but it's at a level that's more ambiguous than other people in the room, because it's really that unambiguousness that like makes a person have full claim of a space, right? Like I'm unambiguously Black. You can't tell me that I'm not Black. There's no way, right? But I'm a little bit more ambiguously Dominican. You can't necessarily tell that I actually have Dominican blood. I don't have nothing to do with Dominican culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, you know, so I wouldn't come in a Dominican space like, yeah, I'm Dominican. Mm-hmm. Think of it from your gender perspective, right? You can be in women's spaces. We speak as women in those spaces. I'm not speaking as a man in that space. I'm a two-spirited individual. If I'm speaking in a woman's space, I'm speaking from my woman's perspective and my womanhood, right? So, you come in that space knowing that there are people like Julissa and Zandi who are unambiguously cis women, right? And understand that they need to have the forefront, that they have to have 100% access to that mic, right? Mm-hmm. And that for the most part, what you say, especially in the company of men, right? And again, connect that to Black people, especially in the company of white people. What you say must support them, right? When women come together, I need this from cis women too. Trans women literally know that y'all, when it comes to women matters, have to have the mic at 100% of the time. Trans women need to have it that are not gender non-binary, that are straight up, I feel very binarily a woman, right? They need to have that mic 98% of the time. The non-binary people that are attached to womanhood need to have it some less percent, right? We've got to be able to give voice where it needs voice, right? Now, when we are in spaces where our oppressor is not in the room, when you got to speak about a contradiction that's happening between the relationship between people that do have things that come at odds sometimes because of the places those intersections don't actually connect, everybody in that space needs to have a level of respect and needs to understand that nobody in here is lying. What you as a person that doesn't necessarily have 100% claim to that room needs to do is have a little bit of patience, right? And be like, okay, I understand that I have privilege in this, and this. I have this privilege. I have that privilege. That doesn't take away. Can I be heard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have this privilege and that privilege. That doesn't take away from this very specific oppression that we both endure because you, as a person that doesn't have this privilege or that privilege, is getting oppression for that and this thing that we both are experiencing. So let's come at this thing like we're both experiencing it. And you've got to be the steward of that. Because people that are steeped in heteronormativity literally cannot. They have bought into the lie that they are the default of nature. So they can't come out of that unless you show them we are the same, we're equally natural, and in this instance, we're equally oppressed. I hope that made sense. I said a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That makes sense. We got it. That was
a word. And if you're just joining us, we're here with Zandi and the ladies Who Bronche, and we're talking right now. We're on our segment T, and we're talking about Blackness around the world, and like we're on the question we ate up this whole segment with one question, but we covered everything. But I want to get to Zanzile, and like being someone whose family is from the continent, from South Africa, growing up here, what was that like for you? And like, sort of like, I don't want to say embracing your blackness because you knew you was black, but like, what like you grew up like experiencing two different kinds of black. So what was that like for you?
It had stages, that's for sure. Like, clearly because my parents were immediately from there, you know, like it wasn't like, oh, a couple of generations, anything like that. Their cultures and things and the way they brought us up were strictly South African. And then when they blended with the American, it wasn't so hot. You know what I'm saying? And it was during the African booty scratcher times.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it was very... And my parents would cut our hair off in the summertime because that was not something that was uncommon in South Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was not fun. But because, you know, hair is a big part of the Black American culture. And not having your hair together, which is a part of why I snatch to this day.
Come on, Abdul.
Because it just... It's a part of it, but then you realize it's really a part of every Black culture. And I can't lie, I stuck to the hair. I was like, okay, I know with the hair, I can always win. But the culture-wise, it was great to have a little bit of both because, you know what everything is going on there. But then some things that are just like, oh, no, that's based on something that really doesn't make sense. So I'm not going to apply that to my life now. And then it's also a very colonized, one of the most colonized, like with them, Nigeria, you know, one of the most hit by colonization. So same shit, different toilet, really, in terms of how I relate to white folk. So to me, I just grabbed the best of the Black cultures in both of them because the white man did the same thing to both of us. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm going to ask a question that might seem a little controversial. And if you know me, you should know I don't mean this question, but it's got to be asked because we have somebody who has experience both here. Would you, I know you just said same shit, different toilet, right? Is one of the toilets more advanced? And is that a good thing?
Advanced in what way?
In that one of the toilets is more comfortable, in that one of the toilets is less oppressive, in that one of the toilets feels more like life how it should be, like you're taking a shit as it should come out. Whereas like another toilet might be a little too short for like, you know.
This toilet analogy, I mean.
So I mean, to me, the land itself makes the shit better, if you will. But like once your eyes are open to the white man's activities, it doesn't really matter where he's playing, what field it's on. It's exhausting and tiring and just like trifling. So I would say that you know how we do. We make the best out of every situation. Now, if you're telling me that it's going to be sunny 75% of my stay, I'm going to go where that's at. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to tell me that there's a possibility of trees outside that bear fruit, let's get that shit going. You know what I mean? But like, beyond that, the white man's scope is everywhere. He up in twixt between everything. So he's uncomfortable everywhere. But yes, I'd rather shit there in the sun.
Yes. and all of that, I asked that because I just wanted it to be clear. We as diasporic Africans, all of us from the Afro-Latinos all the way to the straight up continentals, right? We are in this random oppression Olympics thing that I don't understand. It's the same cracker.
Who Massa beat harder? Who?
No, but wait. This is something that I wanted to say. Like when she was expressing her Dominican roots, I'm like, it's crazy to me how in South America, how Spain was able to fuck these niggas so crazy and still maintain the love of country so hard. Like I've never seen something like that. That's so bad because like no matter what color they are, whatever descendants they are, you speak Spanish, you speak English, doesn't matter. It ain't your shit. What do you mean? It ain't your shit. So why do you care if this person speaks English or this person speaks Spanish? Like they really make it seem like anything that's popping about South American culture is either African or Native American.
Same thing with
by way of Africa. Like you feel me?
Right.
Same thing here.
Like, why? I've never seen it, and I just want to know who Spain PR nigga is.
Where is this PR nigga?
Because
him
like
on the new factory.
He can spin anything.
You know what it is, and like something I discovered through reading, like just like a lot about like slavery and the conditions and like studying it, like the Caribbean and South America, as far as like the transatlantic slave trade was like a slaughterhouse. Like niggas did not live long. So most of like the families that you have that are of African descent, and like think about it, Brazil has the largest black population outside of Africa. Like they imported millions of niggas into Brazil. But like slaves will work so hard and died so often. Most of them are new. So like the brainwashing and the colonization is like relatively fresh.
Right.
And that's why like growing up in New York, like Puerto Ricans, for example, they will let you know that they are Puerto Rican. They are Puerto Rican, like, and it's like that clings to like profile names, like you think of MySpace days. It was always like Rican Poppy days, and like all that, like Puerto Rican flag. That pride of the country, when you think about it, and it's just like it's amazing.
It's ridiculous. It's in our blood. It's literally like, look, I know what I know, and I still have that shit hanging throughout my home. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and in an interesting way, like for me, just to add on super quick to that, I think that even among us, being Afro-Latin, the layer of that is then being Afro-Latin and then recognizing you're not quite in the party with everybody else. Like you feel it, like you see that there's just like we're here, but they don't really want us here. And you can kind of tell, like, you know what I mean? Like my experience is harder and you know that, but when you don't know you're Black at the same time, you cling on to yourself, and it's almost like you're trying to find an identity within an identity, and you're told this is your flag, and it's just like well, yeah, and I'm not a white woman, even though, and I have Dominican cousins that are straight up white girls, right? But I knew like our lives were different, and so because I couldn't be the Black girl, but I couldn't be the white girl, I needed to be the Dominican girl. Hard through and through, and like really focused on wanting to be visible, because on top of that, like Puerto Rican people have more visibility, and it was always the light-skinned Puerto Rican girls, you know what I mean? And so hearing the word Latina, I just wasn't seeing myself, and I'm like, no, somebody's gonna motherfucking see me, and seeing me meant seeing my flag, seeing my food, drinking my rum at parties. If I'm bringing a bottle, it's Brugal, fuck out of here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it became part of my visibility in a way that actually had nothing to do with the island itself, and more with the lack of knowledge of who I was.
Mm.
Our word.
The unpacking.
Thank you for that.
I wanna read this comment from Nia real quick. So she says in PR in the 1800s, Spain passed a decree asking coastal Europeans to move to PR to lighten the race because they felt outnumbered. And she also said, I have my PR and Virgin Islands flags in my home too. And it's like, well, yeah, that whole like me buena raza, like that whole concept of like improving the race, like lightening the race, like make them forget they black and like, but it don't matter. Like shit sticks.
No way.
Like you brought us here. We're not forgetting that shit.
Like,
but it worked. It did work to an extent.
How you gonna make folks forget that they black and still treat them like they black? Like, sorry, there's not a single.
You make it make sense.
Okay, make it make actual sense. There's not a single Latina or Latino that can tan, that has the ability to tan, that hasn't felt some anti-blackness.
Yes.
Period.
You want to read this comment for us?
Yes. Tembe said, my experience as someone from both cultures was difficult because the colonizers made it so. They told Black Americans that Africans were inferior, so there were so many issues growing up here. The ignorant questions were painful.
Plentiful.
Sorry. Yes. I can imagine. Lord have mercy. I mean, I heard Zandi D brought up the African booty scratcher thing. They used to say that shit. You know what I'm saying? And my name is Jack.
Word.
So
on paper, he an Irishman.
On paper, he got red hair and freckles.
Ron Weasley in this bitch.
Buns. Nonetheless, still, you know what I'm saying? So I can't imagine coming in with like beautiful African names with like clear African everything from head to toe.
No, niggas did think I was Italian.
Get the fuck out of here.
God, because of my last name, Dlamini. So they saw so many vowels in that bitch, and they were just like,
that's colonization. So they saw that
it
more.
It was shocking that I was not. It was different.
I'm weak. Okay, one last question for this segment.
Let's move. Let's go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's move on because we can. So let's get into the key. Before we get into the key, remember to like this post, love it, loves make this spread far and wide. Like, let's get this out to people. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know anytime we post a new video on our channel. And check us out on Anchor. FM. I'm forgetting my words right now because I'm like. So excited.
I'm so deeply impressed.
Listen, all
with these graphics. Let me tell you something. I'm over here smoking. These graphics are giving me so fun.
I thought it was just me.
I'm looking at it like, oh my God, yes.
I'm trying to do right. I'm getting hot and shit.
She works hard for the money.
She works hard for the money.
Oh, thank you, Sophia. Agree. Amazing layout. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get on to our next segment.
The key. Lord have mercy on my soul for this motherfucking key.
Oh, you interrupted my little cute music. Wait, I'm gonna go back. Let's So this is the key. It's funny. It's funny because it's true. And so this week for the key, we talking about colorism. So we as we're planning, like Jib Jack and I researching for the show, we came across this little tidbit. We watched this on YouTube on Fox Soul. It's Cocktails with the Queens, hosted by Claudia Jordan. And they were talking about Rob Lieberman, who is a radio host, how he got fired after he compared black women's skin tone. He was talking about Halle Berry versus. Well, we'll see. I'm explaining too much, but he compared black women's skin tones to like burnt toast, basically. So we're gonna
literally saying, and I'm sorry, I know I'll be just trying to tell y'all, watch the motherfucking video.
So yeah, And make sure, make sure you watch us live so you can see this, but you can hear it out there in podcast land. So like, host us.
Speaking of mad, I'm mad about this story. Halle Berry is speaking out after a now fired radio host made racially insensitive remarks about her and other famous Black women. Berry tweeted an excerpt from a podcast hosted by 97 Rock's Rob Lederman, okay, that's his name, who compared her skin tone to a desirable piece of toast. Listen to this nonsense.
Never go to a Serena Williams level, but I'm very comfortable with, like, I'm very comfortable at a Halle Berry level.
Okay.
Also tweeted, disgusting. It's ridiculous. This type of nonsense is still being broadcast across airwaves. All Black women are beautiful and worthy. Rob Lederman, get the F out of here.
He ain't shit
about this.
He ain't shit. Because guess what? Serena's whole white husband, who's a billionaire bitch, he did go down to the Serena Williams level with your po ass. You probably somewhere poor.
Wait a minute.
So get your ass out of here.
Was an opinion. I heard that he's just saying that he won't go as far as a dark-skinned Black woman. He's comfortable going with the color of a Halle Berry. What's wrong with that?
That's a fool because first of all, nobody asked your ass that. That's first. Second of all, that's colorism. That's colorism. He could have said that very differently. That's colorism. He could have said that differently in this climate. And you're a personality. He could have said it like this.
Mocha chocolate opposed to cappuccino?
No, this man said, I like a more mixed. That's what this man said. He said, I like a more mulatto. That's what this man said. To me, that is colorism and discriminatory. That's a fool to say, I don't like them. Listen, as a Black woman, I could say, I like dark-skinned men. They fine. You know what I'm saying? But shit, if a light-skinned man come along and he fine and good to me, I ain't gonna tell him no. You know what I'm saying? That's fine on a preference. But as a white man, you sitting up here comparing Black women's skin to toast. Get your ass out of here.
I agree with you, Selena.
It's toast.
I don't.
Just say you don't prefer. You don't like darker skin. Say you don't like. You don't even like this. You ain't gonna take your ass and tan either. I don't want to catch your ass tanning either. Then,
huh?
I don't want to catch his ass tanning nowhere either. If you don't like darker skin,
I say it all the time, and I always say I either want to get a latte or I say I want to be a caramel latte.
But you're a Black
woman. Mocha.
You're a Black woman. You see what I'm saying? And Black people have different shades. So that's normal for us to say because we have different shades and we're still Black. They got one shade, sis. So to differentiate and toast, nigga. That's what you're gonna say? Toast.
Listen, Lisa, I get what you're saying about having a preference, but he's a like there's certain things you just cannot belt out on an airwave that's getting sponsorship that's catering to a mass audience. And I just think that if that's your preference in real life, that's fine. You can have your preference. But once you broadcast across airwaves, like there's certain things we can't say on this show or that we shouldn't, or we know it's going to affect our money, right? And I just think that it was insensitive to kind of like compare us to toast. Like when he said, I'll never go that. Okay, you can have your preference, white boy. Just like we don't want you. You can have your preference. You're right about that. It's the way he said that shit was trash.
I don't know. I'm not there with it. I just think that we're so sensitive now that I think that just like how we talked about Justin Bieber video and about him using Martin Luther King. You know what I mean? He got a pass because he's more Black-white. He's more white-Black. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I
love you, Lisa, right? But no, ma'am, Martin Luther King Jr. and Justin Bieber. Martin Luther King was for all people. His speech encompassed all people, all love. So for Justin Bieber to embrace that was a great thing. But this man compared Black women's skin tone to toast. So what you saying? She's burnt? What are you saying?
Why can't you have a light color toast? Why can't it be golden?
Because it ain't toast unless it's toasted.
Well, okay, listen, y'all.
So say you like raw bread.
It's a toast, though.
Lord, deliver me.
I really can't.
Wow.
I was gagging. That was awful.
That was crazy. First off, wait, can I just comment on Vivica's face?
Please
like,
do.
What were those lips, girl? Oh my god! Like, I'm tired of people poking their faces. People need to stop poking their faces.
They
oh
do.
My goodness.
What did you say about Lisa Ray, Zandi Ray?
I have no idea.
You said something about like why, like okay, like her whole, it was like her whole career is based off of being light skinned, and they see her as what?
Exotic. Oh yes, she's exotic to them. You know what I'm saying? She's not black to them. She's somebody with a little taste of color and a whole lot of ass. She's exotic to them, and her hair can be slicked up quickly for them, all that kind of stuff. But
it's that. It's like what light skinned women are, and I'm sorry for light skinned women. Again, this is like literally what that man said on there is part of your light skin privilege, right? The fact that you are desirable to white men in any regard makes you valuable to them, which therefore makes you privileged. Okay.
Yep.
So, and of course, it has its levels of oppression too, because it's fetishization and it's not right. It's disgusting and gross, nonetheless. You know, but at the end of the day, you can milk some shit. Whereas like a Serena Williams, who by all accounts should be able to milk some shit because of her skill, if she needed something from that white man, would have to work harder.
Yep.
So the thing about being exotic, it's like when a white person goes to a restaurant in which they will use spice. It's sazon on the chicken. Whereas like they are fully okay with chicken with a light salt bay and maybe like one pepper flake. They're fine with that on a regular basis. But ooh, look at you. There's somebody put a little color on that, right? And that's nice. Somebody put a little meat on the bones, and that's nice. But it's close enough to white where I don't have to like explain myself to my white counterparts. It's close enough to white where I don't have to feel like I am treating a black person like an equal.
Yep. Because that's what it is at the end of the day.
So anybody that's ever felt, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, anyone that's ever felt dope for being called exotic by a white person, honey, girl, you ain't dope. Now,
they say yes, Jack.
Now, when my favorite part of that whole thing is when Selena Johnson said that what are we burnt? Because no, at any level of toast, like you comparing it to toast is you saying I like it this level of burnt versus that level of burnt. Otherwise, give me plain white bread.
Right.
And to compare us to something edible and so simply edible also points to that level of consuming of black bodies and black people that white people love to like have in their minds. Like they have to consume our culture. They have to literally consume our bodies, whether we've been mummified or not. They have to literally.
White people used to eat mummies, y'all. It was a thing.
I don't know about no used to.
Come on, Jack.
I said that Prince Philip ain't dead. He under that castle eating them babies. That's
oh my
God. Y'all know how they do.
Allegedly true. So yeah, like that. Like that's the whole thing. Like Lisa Ray. Like, come on, girl. Come on.
Yeah.
You don't even know how light skinned you sound right now.
She does know exactly how light skinned she sounds.
Does she?
She does. She's aware she's light skinned and she lives in it. She loves it. She's outrageous. But
I don't know if someone could be as like we recently saw like Lisa Ray on The Island Fix My Life, and I'm like, you're right. I was about to like fight you on that, but I'm like, no.
What are you talking about? She's been doing reality TV since like 97. Like she's been doing these little interviews and 1 hour into her life, and we think she.
And the common denominator is you, sis. It's you. It's you. I feel like that was an accurate assessment.
And I'm
And also,
go ahead, Lisa.
I was gonna say, I just don't understand why people can't fess up to what some of the preferences mean and where that's coming from. Like, sometimes, like, you're gonna have to own up to what's fucked up about what you like if there's some fucked upness about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand that you can't force someone to want something that genuinely does not turn them on and they don't, whatever, right? We can't force or convert, but please don't act like it's not what it is, at least. Right? Like, at least. Which is something I've had to learn for myself, even, because I have preferences myself, right? And I'm like, yo, some of that is really just my own shit. It's me. It doesn't mean that person is less sexy. It doesn't mean anything. So I don't have the right to now create a hostile experience for that person because I have a thing. Period. Like, that's just not my thing. It doesn't give me the right to be on air and saying harmful shit.
Period. Like, and I just can't wait and to lean in and I guess even like go like bring what you're suggesting to like some of the core of the contradiction. Why do we give a fuck about what white people think about us? Stop caring. It doesn't matter. They're gonna think what they think, and it's gonna do what it does. I don't give a fuck. And again, after just praising Selena, gotta get her. One of the first things she said was Serena Williams and her white husband to then validate Serena Williams' beauty through a white lens. Like,
why did you have to do that? Fuck? Why did you? Oh, white husband, chop like. And your point, right. The whole thing reeked of petty boo light skinness either way, like, the thing got mentioned, but they didn't like really get to the core of the thing, and instead they played into it. But again, it is Fox Soul, so I wouldn't expect any more.
That was what I was thinking. I was like, it's Fox.
That drop.
Oh yeah. Child. That's another episode. We talking about the Africanizing of media during these times and how it's for the placation of the masses to act like some progress is happening instead of letting y'all get as angry as you should be so that we revolt. But you ain't hear it here, I guess.
Right.
But Skittles, what were you about to say?
No. I literally no. Yeah, no. I was just agreeing with what everybody was saying. I was like,
Skittle been hitting that bowl too much.
Skittles. Like, okay, all right.
You can't put it down, right?
Like Skittles, you mentioned, you know what I'm saying, like just the feeling of like being light skinned and how that like affects your, feeling of permission, right, in terms of being black, right? When you hear things like this, whether it's coming from white people or whether it's coming from black people, or other Latinx people. When you hear this kind of stuff, what like goes through your mind? Like when you hear like people like prefer light skinnedness, what goes through your mind as a light skinned person?
I don't really fully understand it. I don't understand like and even in like listening to the clip and like seeing Lisa Ray like say what she said, I was even thinking, like, I don't understand where people feel in this day and age that they still have the right to say stuff like this and that it's acceptable to put it on like a platform and for people to listen to, and then for Lisa Ray to come in and try and make some type of defense and calling it just his opinion. Like, I just don't like. I don't understand why why it's even like something that he felt it was okay to say in the first place. And I'm blanking. I'm sorry. I'm literally like the worst right now.
No, but I completely feel that. I think that sometimes we try to rationalize colonialism
Yeah.
as like anything else, or just like from a today kind of lens, like from a modern lens, as though like whatever's happening is like somewhat in a vacuum, right? But colonialism is the answer every time.
Every
like anti-blackness is
mind blowing.
It's like it's a symptom of like the things that colonialism and like literally like white supremacy has like instilled in us to believe about ourselves. Like according to the history books, like Black people never did shit for the world. We never invented shit. We never made shit. We never shit, never did shit. We deserved it, and I feel like some of us have really like internalized that, and like that was like really present, like in this video
from every single one of the ladies, from Vivica's silence to Claudia not even really broaching on the core of the contradiction, to Selena's, you know, being so close to it but still championing white's perspective, and from Lisa Ray completely cooning her pussy out for the masses to see. So I think it's important even that it was said that, you know, it's that we don't understand, because I say that shit sometimes too, like I don't get it, and then like sometimes Pat will just be silent because it's like really the answer is colonialism, and she knows that I'm gonna like arrive there, you know what I'm saying, eventually. But you gotta have your modern moment. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta like feel how you feel today and feel how you feel about niggas of today. You know what I'm saying? But essentially colonialism is the answer. Like the reason he feels that he could say that is because he's white, and because white's going white.
How did that conversation even come up? Like, I wonder, like, like I haven't found the whole clip. I'm like, how did, like, okay, what, like, if you were going to go Black, how Black would you go? Would you go Black? Have you ever gone Black? And, like, white people asking those types of questions.
So it should be back.
It should be back. It's disgusting, first of all. But like I figure like it's like, and this is not to excuse it, like it was some sort of like Howard Stern shock jock. I didn't research the white man. I didn't care.
And we don't typically talk about the white man on here, but too many Black women had something to say about this to not bring it up, and therefore, you know what I'm saying, whether anyone saw it or heard it or not, this is clearly in the minds of our people, right? Oh, don't get me started. Oh, don't get me started on museums. We just talked about museums today. Please don't get me started. Please don't get me started on museums.
The idea of it is wild, and it's like just on its head, it's wild. We stole shit. Now we're gonna display it to fuck with me if you want to,
and make you pay to see it. You want to see this?
Pay to see it, and then make your brothers and sisters feel educated for enjoying their time there.
Right.
I can't look. We gotta touch it now. Fuck out of here. Right? As we wait for Janisa, we gotta touch it since it came up. Thank you, Sophia. Thanks a lot. All right. So.
Oh wait, let me read Sophia's comments. So Sophia was like, and then they then stole stuff and made museums to rewrite the history.
There are colonized people. Again, I don't be talking about white people. I don't give a fuck what they think about us. There are colonized people who were upset that people decided to loot and riot in response to all of the shit that was going on, to clearly our lives not mattering, that go to museums and feel educated and like, oh, this is a perfect date. I'm a sapiosexual because you gotta take me. No. So what is the one with the in the mind? I don't remember what it is. You gotta intellectually stimulate me in order for me to get aroused. So take me to a museum on our first date. But niggas can't fucking crash and steal TVs from fucking businesses on Fordham Road. Those ain't black people businesses. Y'all think that just because those black people might be renting those spaces, might have bought into the franchises, right? That those are their businesses. They're not a part of those conglomerates. They're not making the fucking money. Are you kidding me? Their businesses, whether they want to champion them or not, are white supremacy. It's neo-colonial petty bourgeoisie-ness. So, like, how dare you? How dare you champion literal colonization and not champion colonized people's response to tyranny? How dare you? We went to this workshop where they were they were doing this African exhibit at the Brooklyn Museum, and it was like they had this Egungun shrine, right? Which some Egungun shrines are moving shrines where like a priest or somebody sanctioned to wear the shrine, adorns the shrine, and moves about the ritual space as the shrine, right? As a spiritualist, as an Olosha, I wasn't Olosha at the time, but as a person who was still plugged into that spiritual essence, coming in that space was painful, literally, like physically painful, because I'm sitting here with something that's supposed to be a living being that was essentially starved to death. No ritual that would essentially cut off its connection to our life, to our third dimensional being was done. No permission was given. It's as though they stole your grandmother, put her on display, and never fed her. And then they still got her decaying corpse on display. And they're like, how lucky are we to have gotten this? Museums, nigga? Okay. But y'all smart. All right. Is Julissa back?
Yeah. My internet is being trifling. I'm sorry.
It's all good. We got into a moment where I'm trying not to cry. Y'all have no idea. Pat saw me at a very vulnerable state because I do not play about these ancestors. And that shit right there.
And then when they were explaining the process of how like they acquired this, I think it's called like provenance.
Something like that.
Like basically like they explained like how they may or may not have, in the words they use, may or may not have stolen it. And basically they were like, okay, yeah, like it wound up in our possession. Like we found out who the family was and they were like, oh yeah, you can keep it. And I'm like, but y'all stole it.
Y'all stole it in the first place.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10 probably threatened the fuck out of that family to allow you to keep it.
If
like,
not killed them.
If not killed them in the first place. Absolutely. Like, but then convinced y'all that y'all are smart for going to museums, but then convinced y'all that this is great for you. Oh, this is a way that you can see your culture.
I don't want to say this because you know what you're right.
Say it.
Like,
and say it with gusto.
They're just like inherently evil. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just think, like, the things that turn them on and make them think that they are good are like, what do they do that?
Christendom, Europe, the slums.
It just
the slums,
makes your heart
the ghettos of the earth,
the Caucasus Mountains.
Very ghetto.
It's really ghetto. But I wanna let y'all know something. I am not gonna say how I feel about that. Okay. End of the day, I believe that all things that come from a mother share a prime directive. All colonized people before colonialism shared a prime directive of maintaining the resources of their region. Meaning that they had a very serious relationship with Mother Earth, with all of her children, and would never deplete anything, knowing full well that 1, they have no ownership, 2, if it's a blessing from the gods, God, Yahweh, whoever you want to say is God, who cares, right? That they exist or if it's luck, or if it's literally the will of the earth herself, right? That without the earth, we don't have shit. Some by white people don't share that prime directive.
Something about the white people.
They didn't hear from jump, so they don't really know the mechanics of what all is going on, like, you know. And it's crazy because, you know, when you're like 15 years old, 16, 15 to 21, you think you know every motherfucking thing that's available. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when somebody who's in their 40s, 60s, 70s tries to tell you something, you're like, it's a different world. You don't know shit. But those people in the 70s know that grass is always going to grow, sun is always going to shine. They know shit you just don't even understand. You know what I mean? And brown people are those people. You know what I'm saying? We tried to say, hey, slow down. Slow down. You're moving a little too fast. Y'all trying to break down everything. We got to fuck with these trees in the right way. We got to fuck with the air in the right way.
Oh, wait, y'all niggas not counting? Niggas, 0, 1, 2, 3.
So at the end of the day, you know, they're the babies of the earth because brown people been here for a minute trying to tell them, and you know, they're these rebellious 60s, 70s. What I'm saying is, there's a royal for the child. We got to start whipping ass out here.
What? Don't. Hey, spare the Ross for the child.
Stop it.
Be the ass, save a life.
Be the ass, save a life.
We do not condone violence on this show.
Or
disclaimer. We do not.
That is an alleged plan that black people are coming up with. No. Yeah, no, I mean, y'all already know how I feel. And if you don't, that just means you don't follow me and you're missing out. End of the day, all of that. All of that. And once we, as colonized people, really, really agree on that and be like, you know what? That part, Jada Smith.
That part.
We can at least stop giving a fuck about what they think.
Yeah.
If we don't give a fuck about what they think about us, then like, imagine the shit that you could do. Imagine walking down 34th Street and literally not moving while a white person is walking towards you and watching this white person crumble onto the floor at the mere touch of you. Let alone whether you put any force into it or not. Do you know that white people will hit the ground if you do this? They will hit the ground. Do you know that they clutching their purse so hard because they don't have the freaking muscles to hold on to it if you were to grab it? Not even to snatch it and struggle. This is them. Go watch the Sinister video. Let them demonize you all day long.
Yeah.
You scared of me?
Yeah.
Be more scared, nigga. Be more scared. Yeah. Get more forces. Get your shit, like, get it popping, because at the end of the day, you should be. You really should be. Because if you're anything, you're my son. And thou shalt revere thy parents.
With that, I think we can transition into our last segment of the night. Our keeping it real, all facts, no printer. So our keeping it real for tonight is anti-Blackness and police violence. Like, there's been so much that's been going on, like, recently. Like,
where's the Palo Santo? Like,
right.
Like, they're killing us, like, all the time. And we have, like, the George Floyd trial, which is happening. We have, like, the Dante Brown situation that happened this weekend. Dante Brown. Wow, I'm just like, Sandra Bland, we Eric Gardner, like the list, like we could be here for like another hour, saying their names, like literally, and probably wouldn't even get to most of them.
The names we don't know.
The names we don't know.
We'll never know.
The names we will never know.
We'll never know.
Like, who? Like, this shit is like really.
It's a heavy subject.
It's a heavy subject. And I want it to be as heavy as possible because we desensitized, millennials, Gen Zers.
Yeah.
We don't understand that, like, okay, there's a marketing ideal that is true of most things, whether it's marketing or not. If one person calls with a complaint, that person represents 1 million people. There's 7 billion people on this planet. You got to know that's true. For every name that you have, I can guarantee there's 30 that experienced the exact same thing, died the exact same way that this person that you have the one name of, that we don't know their name. And we'll never know their name.
Yep.
And that is our objective reality. That is what it is without living in it and being able to feel all of it. That is what is happening based on literal numbers, statistics, math, facts.
Okay.
Now, as colonized people, from adults, young adult to youth, to be subjects in that, you have to really internalize it. You have to understand how those numbers mean that it can be you literally in the next second.
Yep.
That God, Oya, Egun, every Orisha, every Abosum, every single deity that an African person ever prayed to, forbid, right now the door could be broke down. And y'all could witness some shit on live. And guess who wouldn't give a fuck? Your white supremacist government. They'd keep that live because they'd want y'all to be afraid instead of fucking dismayed, instead of fucking outraged. Don't let them people that try to convince you that your outrage is somehow weak. Don't let them convince you of that. You have every right to be outraged. And no tea, no shade. For the survival of any children that y'all, for whatever reason, deign to have, is necessary. We need your outrage. And we need it on 1,000. We need that calm, cool, collected outrage enough for us to plan some shit, but I don't need your calm. I don't need you talking to white people like, hey, so Peter, we gotta understand. Fuck white people.
Yeah.
Don't talk to them. Oh, ignoring a white person feels good.
I'm not doing it.
Sure do.
Ain't nobody giving my ancestors directions nowhere.
Okay.
Y'all wrote this up, strung us up, laid us on top of each other, and brought us. Didn't nobody tell us nothing.
Nothing. Jalissa, you've been talking a lot online about the Dante Wright situation, and you've like shit like your past is like just like share, girl, share, because I can't like really just like I
feel like there's so I'll speak to this, right? Because everything Jack just said, but also as I don't know, for some reason I feel like in law enforcement there are a lot of Latinx people. There just are. In New York City there is that experience, and so a lot of the way you experience a moment like this is not only having to process and understand the bullshit of why white supremacy succeeds at the hands of white people in the way that we witness, but just watching the way we just happily uphold and it ourselves within our community against each other. Like it is voluntary. We get no benefit from it. In fact, it hurts us in so many ways, and we are so blinded by whatever support systems they give us in order to uphold their bullshit that we don't realize that if we just let it drop, if we can withstand the chaos that comes from the fall, what's on the other side will have you understand why things need to be not just you know, abolishment, revolution. I think we are so comfortable as it's not even just this generation, but this moment in time, we're so comfortable. We've been pacified to the point that the idea that revolution needs to look like anything we saw in a textbook, like the idea that that's real is ridiculous and archaic and just like all of these things that we will not consider. We will not consider it whatsoever. And it really boggles me why no one questions the reality that white people should be shook at every moment that something is exposed, because it's crazy. We haven't done some wild shit already. It's actually like just proof of how fucked up we are that we're not doing more. It's fucked up that I can like key every day and like, you know, and like just have knowing what's happening and knowing that at any moment, to Jack's point, they could be me. It could be my family. It could be anyone. And the reality is that when these things happen, the reason the whole community feels it and we rumble in the way we rumble is because there's this ancestral tie. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like there's this ancestral mission that we don't recognize our role in it. But the reason why we feel it is because it's a true tie. And I don't know. I can't speak for white people, but I feel like when you hear of a death of a white person, I don't see that same tremble and like community response of whoa, this is a moment of something that happened that was wrong. Right? Like, which just shows you the relationship they get to have with the system that is built for them. And we don't get to have that relationship. So I don't know why we keep supporting that relationship with bullshit like, oh, technically he resisted arrest. Well, technically, and all of these technicalities. And that's one of the things I said on IG was just like, you got me technically fucked up. Like, so
you got me.
So like, y'all, so don't you think it's a good idea to change it then, right? Because if this is the technicality and the results of the technicality is I'm watching a trial for a murder we all watched together, stop playing. I feel like I'm watching Dora. And she's like, what color is it? Yellow over there with the big ass yellow finger. We're all like, yes, amarillo, bitch, amarillo.
Yo, like, complete facts. Like, and it's really wild. Like, if y'all like, okay, y'all have to be keeping me abreast at this point because I have laid out patterns enough that I'm like, look, I know what's happening. I don't necessarily need to read it. And y'all
same script, confirm, different cast,
right? Exactly. Y'all just confirm. How many times we gonna watch people that are dead on trial? Instead of the white people who killed them on trial. Who do y'all feel like is on trial right now? Is Derek Chauvin on trial or is George Floyd on trial?
Of course, it's George Floyd because he's the one whose life we're investigating and looking into.
Right.
Like
so when are y'all gonna let it go? I gotta speak to and completely uplift what Julissa just said about fucking just drop it. Just drop it. I've been saying for fucking years. Disengage. Oh, if y'all realize that literally every broke nigga has enough money to disengage, if we all literally said we won't all disengage together, every broke nigga has enough money for us all to get it together right now. The money that you have in your bank account, the negative $27 you have in your bank account right now, every broke nigga got together, we got it.
Yeah.
And then let some niggas with some money, some middle class niggas who know how to save with some money come into that. We got it. We can do what we want. Really, right the fuck now. Like, actually, right now.
Yeah.
All we gotta do is disengage. Literally, all you gotta do is not show up to work tomorrow. But it takes everybody doing it. One person can't be the martyr. We can't not pay rent if y'all paying rent. But let us all not pay rent right now.
But that takes organization. That takes like intention. That takes like coming together and like. Well, like, listen, everybody not gonna make it. So like, I'm saying organizing for the people that like want this, and there's enough of us out there that like, even if you don't understand like the intricacies of like colonialism and how that works, like with capitalism and how that's intertwined with all these other things, you still like know your material conditions. You still know how it feels to be living the way you live and like have that fucking like shadow at your back constantly. And know that it's not right. Like, you know that this, like, you try to rationalize it, but that's what makes us fucking crazy. Like, that's why all of us have fucking PTSD, because it's like, we're constantly trying to, like, assimilate. Like, assimilation isn't a one and done. Like, you see this shit on the news and you know it could be you, and you gotta, like, push that down somewhere so you can go to your job in the fucking morning. Yeah. And, like, we know, like I said before, like, we know this is, like, same script, different cast type shit. But like, where, like, I want to know where this faith in the legal system that niggas have that, oh, it could be different. Like, no, it's not. Like, they're like, the police are like, the pigs are their fucking bodyguards. Like, you're not gonna fucking charge your bodyguard for what you sent them out to do.
It's the Constitution.
Like, why would you do that? It doesn't make sense.
And there's a lot of, to me, it's like, I think the part that makes me such a middleman, and I'll call myself out on that, you know, in the sense of like, I still haven't been the one to not stop paying my rent. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't been that person yet. Right. And I think a lot of that is based in so much fear and lack of imagination and faith in what the imagination can make up, that it is difficult to make that leap. And not because, you know, if the faith was there and we really felt like everybody wasn't paying rent, guess what? I'm not paying rent, right? Because it's not that I don't understand the methodology or I don't believe in the, you know, like the vision. It's that I don't believe in the mass, in the number. And like, I feel like even when we bring down the number of people who would be willing, I fear that the numbers aren't strong enough. And like, our numbers are so much larger. Like, we're still in a place where we're arguing with each other about which one of us gets to be part of what is a massive global reparation. That really is what we are fighting for. It is not just American slavery, that, like, you know, reparation, like, you know, I understand the importance, like, in no way, shape, or form. And I try to take away from the ADOS movement by making that comment. I'm just saying, though, like,
take away from it, because bullshit.
I was gonna say, like, where I feel like I'm respecting it, I feel like what I'm trying to respect is somebody's emotional experience of something, but what I'm trying to accomplish has to move past those emotions. So for me, the actual roadblock is not even just the systems of colonization, but the actual emotional repression and like just the way we've been fucked through colonization. That I want to unfuck that. And then when you think about mental health and not just mental health, but holding space for different practices of connecting with one's spirit, right? Which is to say, like, those, everybody want to wear crystals now and stuff like that. And like, in some ways it's like, that's completely fucked up. But in some ways it's like, damn, there's a lot of Black women who, if it wasn't on the forefront on Instagram in their feed, they are so deep in the church that they would have never even known that shit really existed. So it's like this weird dynamic of like, you know, but we have to catch each other as we're coming upstream. It's like, oh, do you see now? And we really have to pull each other up. And that takes so much work and effort. And I feel like people aren't here for that. And that's where my hope starts to dwindle. You know, it really becomes fickle.
I completely it's like,
but
again, I agree. The numbers are definitely
but nothing is impossible, and y'all are right. You know, like,
yeah, the numbers are not there yet. You see me screaming online all the time. It's because the numbers are not there. It's because niggas still don't understand simple shit. Like what I said earlier, we're gonna have a show about it eventually. The willingness versus desire and how that shapes your one's sexuality. People don't understand how literally, you know, how the fact that the method in which we received Christianity therefore makes Christianity to some degree toxic for us until we decolonize that Christianity and have a literal relationship based situation. You know what I'm saying? There's people I know, there's niggas that I know that are Christian that I'm like, yep, Christianity works for you. Like I see it because it's the relationship. They know they like this is who and we do, and this is how we work, and this is how this works with me. And it has nothing to do with you whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? And it works. They decolonize it or somehow have learned how to do that while it was happening. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, a lot of people, a lot of Black people, a lot of colonized people who happen to be Christian also have a lot of hate in their spirit, and it don't match. You know, and that's when you know that your religion is colonized.
Yep.
If it don't match, that's how you know. So, end of the day, those people might need to be introduced to something else because something in them in general don't match. You know what I'm saying? With what's happening. So maybe you got to come to something more indigenous, more African, more Aboriginal, right? So, yeah. I think that the fact that people don't want to decolonize is because they would have to be fully confronted with their objective reality, and therefore realize how complacent they've been.
Yeah.
And therefore have to define themselves on that complacency rather than the trope of survival.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm fully aware that all day long, literally to get this message to you, we are on a laptop that is run on stolen resources. I am making sure that a nigga is heard, and anything I need to read is on an iPad made of stolen resources. These flowers are made of fabric that is stolen resources.
And stolen practices of flower making from Asia.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That like the house we live in, you know what I'm saying, is off pilfered resources. Literally, the land on which it's built.
A stolen land built by stolen people.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all hire people that y'all consider illegal to build these houses, and then send their wives to ICE so that
when they're indigenous to this land,
to not be able to have any more of these people that are building your houses. Like we are not doing this podcast as though we are not aware of those realities.
Right.
We have to use them. We were born in this situation. We have to use them. So I understand your need for making money while you're going to work, your need for having a shelter while you're paying rent, right? Yeah. So, we get it, but you got to see something better.
Like, if you do what you always done, you're going to get what you always got.
You got to see something better. And if not for yourself, for your kids.
Yep.
I want to live in a world where my child can pick a fruit off a tree in front of any kind of law enforcement and not go to jail or get a fine. Do y'all understand that in California, if you have a lemon tree in your backyard, you better have a permit for that lemon tree just in order to pick it and use it yourself, let alone being able to sell anything from that thing? You make a pie using those lemons, then fine, jail. But land of the free.
Land of the motherfucking free.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I would fan.
Because I definitely live in California making lemonade.
You's a criminal.
I'm a criminal. I'm like, damn, when people ask me, I guess I'm a liar. I guess I do engage in more criminal activity. Shit.
I see you had some thoughts swelling back there. What did you? What did you?
I'm just super high. Oh no, I'm trying to get my shit together. And I'm trying to decide if I want to spark this other one, and I see her spark. Don't even worry about me.
I think that we can close here because we answered that second question.
Pretty much. Any final thoughts before we leave the people? Yeah, we've been on here for almost an hour and a half.
Any promos?
It's been a great show.
Follow I'm so glad
yes.
you came more. We're going to get you this podcast. We're going to get Zandi. Find Zandi on the socials. Follow her. And the numbers will prove the podcast needs. She's a Harlem bitch like me.
Yes.
Because then it makes sense.
Okay.
Yes. And you can follow me at Julissa, as you see spelled out there across socials. Yes, follow Ladies Who Bronche. I also I'm a writer, so I write posts and things, and I talk my shit sometimes too and post that. So definitely be on the lookout. And I be in corporate spaces too, so don't sleep on your girl if, that's your jam. And if you need any diversity, equity, and inclusion, little pander and stuff to go on, I get paid to do that too. So holla at your girl.
Hello.
Yeah.
Because it's not only that we do our shit, but we do
Harlem World. Hey Zora. Hey Harlem World.
Hey Zora.
Yo. Hire a new country to come to your place for inclusion as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's gonna be fun. And we're gonna shade you, but you're gonna love it.
It's gonna look beautiful. All right, y'all. So thank y'all for joining us tonight. It's been amazing. Thank you to our guests, Ladies Who Bronche, and Zanzale for coming and chilling and talking with us. Make sure you follow us on Anchor FM/Nukai and support our podcast on support. You can become a subscriber and give us a little money every month if you want to. If you're listening to us out there in podcast land, make sure you check us out every Wednesday live at 8 p.m. Eastern on Facebook.com/Anukai and Anukai on YouTube. And yeah, it's been real. It's been fun.
We're gonna do this again with y'all. We're gonna have this panel again.
Yes, and y'all coming to Bronche.
Yes.
You too, girl.
Yes, it's gonna be lit. We coming to Bronche next.
Thank you guys for staying with us, and we'll see y'all next week.
Come on.